In a major update, Costa Rica has announced that it will accept a group of 200 migrants from India and Central Asia who are being deported from the United States. Now, this makes Costa Rica the second Central American country after Panama to accept migrants from faraway places who enter the US illegally. In the meantime, the US government has been increasing deportation, and now, instead of keeping these migrants in the detention centers at the southern US border, they are sending them to other countries first. The plan is for Costa Rica to temporarily house these kind of migrants who enter the US illegally before they are being sent back to their home countries. But the big question remains: what will happen to these deportees once they arrive in Costa Rica? Also, the question: why is Costa Rica accepting these migrants? What do they have in it? Well, this is part of a bigger plan by the US government to deport people more quickly. Normally, when migrants are caught into the United States without proper documentation, they are sent back to their home countries. However, some countries, including India and certain Asian nations, have refused to accept deportees until and unless their nationality is verified. This process takes time, and instead of waiting, the US has found a new way to deal with this issue, and that is by sending these migrants to Central American countries like Costa Rica and Panama until their home government agrees to take them back. Recently, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with leaders in Costa Rica and Panama to discuss immigration issue. Although, let me tell you, no detailed plan were shared publicly, but it was confirmed that both countries have agreed to work with the US on the deportation effort. Coming back to Costa Rica, then the Costa Rican government has stated clearly that it will not keep the migrants permanently. Instead, it will act like a bridge to send them back to their home countries. The entire process will be fully funded by the US government, and it will be managed by International Organization for Migration, IOM, that is a UN agency. Let me tell you what will happen to these deportees. The deportees will land at main airport in San Jose, that is Costa Rica's capital. From there, they will be transported to a migrant shelter in place called Corridors near the border with Panama. The IOM will be responsible for taking care of them while they wait to be deported to their home countries. Though, let me tell you, it is still unclear how many migrants the United States plan to send to Costa Rica in total, or how long they will stay before being sent back home. Over the last year, the US, Mexico, and Panama have made their immigration policy really strict. Fewer migrants are now able to travel free through Central America to reach the US border. Before these changes, Costa Rica was actually struggling to handle thousands of migrants who passed through the country, many of whom have crossed the dangerous Darien Gap between Colombia and Panama. Now, as the US increases deportation flights, it is relying on countries like Costa Rica to manage deportees temporarily. This move is seen as part of Donald Trump's push to remove illegal migrants faster, but it also raises many questions. Will India and other countries agree to take these migrants back quickly? What will happen to them if their home government delay verification? Third, will Costa Rica continue to accept deportees if the number increases? And fourth, what does this mean for Indian migrants? Well, I can answer the fourth one. For Indian nationals who traveled illegally to the US, this is a major signal. The US is tightening its immigration law, and now even Central American countries are part of the deportation process. If somebody is caught entering the US illegally, they may not be sent back to India immediately, and they can be held in Costa Rica or Panama first. This makes the journey even more uncertain and risky for those who try to enter the US through illegal routes via Latin America. The message is clear. The US is making it really hard for undocumented migrants to stay, and other countries are helping with the deportation process. Anyone considering illegal migration should now think twice, as the chances of being detained and deported are now higher than ever. With Costa Rica and Panama now involved, the US is likely to continue using this particular strategy to remove migrants faster. It remains to be seen how India and other affected countries will respond. Should India quickly verify and accept deportees, or should it delay the process to ensure proper checks? What happens if deportees get stuck in Central America for a long period of time? Let us know what you think. Is this a smart move by the US, or it will create more problems for the deported migrants?